Today's episode is brought to you by the Sounds in Cinema podcast.
Everything sequel contains explicit language. And why the fudge not, you melon farmer?
Hello and welcome to the Everything Sequel podcast. This is the 1982 singles edition of Pitch a Sequel. We're pitching sequels today, everybody. My name is Michael Shantz of the How Dare You Awards. Joining me, your friend and mine, co-host extraordinaire Tom Stewart of Lonesome Whistle Productions. Hello, Tom.
Beppo, 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 beppo. 2 more days to Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. 2 more days to Halloween, Silver Shamrock.
Well played.
You giving me the Cochrane golf clap? Please say you are.
Indeed I am. Joining us, of course, our special guest co-host, Matthew Aldrich, screenwriter, veteran of Hollywood, and co-writer of Coco. Hello, Matt.
Hey, guys. I'm sad this is drawing to an end. This has been... there's nothing I love more than sitting around and talking about movies, especially borderline movies. So this has been
legal entity
movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you excited to do your actual job on this podcast?
Yeah, I feel
I know, right?
I feel a little bit like I gotta put my money where my mouth is right now. So
believe me, we're the ones who feel intimidated. Believe me.
No. I've listened to your pitches before, and they're more than enough to land a job and to get a swing.
I think of them more like novelizations than pitches.
Some of them are a little wordy, I'll give you that. Some of them you get in the weeds. You get in the weeds of Act 2 a little bit. You wanna get your premise out. You want a high level Act 2, and then you want to kind of stick the landing. That's really what you want to do.
Yeah, I like the fact that I'm operating under the assumption that when I pitch a movie, they want to hear everything that happens in it.
Yeah, and guess what?
Otherwise, how would they know what happens in it?
Yeah. I always think of when I think about like how to pitch a movie, because it's a skill that like requires constant honing. It's like something I've never met like a writer or anybody who will say that they're good at it. Like I know from my own experience and talking to other writers and everything that it's pitching is a really painful process, and it's a very there's a lot of insecurity around it, and
Anxiety.
a lot of anxiety around it, about how much should I say, how much is too much, how much is too little.
Couldn't that be different in every room you're in, though?
Yeah, it really is it's a dialogue. It should be a dialogue more than anything, because the whoever you're talking to, whether it's an executive or a producer or a director or somebody, you sort of have to recognize that they want to be in on the creative process too. And so a pitch isn't so much of like, here's what it's going to be, as it is like, it's a pitch. It's like I have the ball and I'm pitching the ball to you. Mm-hmm. And so you're going to pitch it back to me, and we're going to have a relationship, and this idea is going to go
back and forth.
Yeah, a back and forth. We're going to have a dialogue about this, and so I hope everything I say now stimulates your imagination to the point where you then go, oh, it would be really cool, and then you plus what I just gave you.
We do that for each other. We ask questions.
Yeah,
and add on.
I think you may be being too generous there, right? That what sounds like quite a sophisticated creative dynamic, with me going, should you have a 2 in there instead of
no, I kind
is
of
it a little
it goes
different
beyond that. Come on. You're not giving yourself
Is-
near enough credit, Tom Stewart.
No, it's like you do your pitch and I interrupt with questions like, "Is he still a ghost?" or something like that. I mean, it's not high level.
No.
Valid.
I will interrupt you there and say, like, that's exactly how the pitches go. You get on a roll and somebody pipes in and says, "Wait, is that a ghost?" And then you go, "Oh man!" Like that's the feeling of like I just threw out the opening pitch and it went sideways and half the distance, and all the crowd is looking at me and they're booing me. You're like, so
it was a Fauci opening pitch.
it was a Fauci opening pitch. Yeah, you want to be up there and you want to be Randy Johnson or somebody up there. You want to just throw the heat, and
You're
and
talking
so
about
you
Dr.
try
Anthony
and you just Fauci it.
Yes, Dr. Anthony Fauci.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
He had an opening pitch recently that was.
He did.
Yeah.
Didn't go well.
But anyway,
busy.
I think what a great pitch does is a lot of things we've been talking about over the past 4 movies, which was to say, like, give them everything they want, nothing they expect, right? Like to satisfy, like to know what the expectations are, if you're gonna pitch Halloween 3 or if you're gonna pitch Grease 2, like know what the baseline needs are, and then hopefully your pitch sort of kind of brings another level to it.
And I think one of the interesting things about pitching a sequel in our little world.
Yeah.
And I assume that there's a little bit of crossover with reality here, is that we're constantly thinking about what other parts of the franchise you can incorporate into, well, I certainly am, into this one movie. So you're thinking about, like, what other part of the series does it speak to? I guess that'll be less of an issue here, given that these are all single sequels ? But it's always, I think, I don't know about you, Mike, but it's always at play for me. Like, do I want to loop back to the original? Do I want to, redress something that happened in a previous movie? Not just thinking about making the best possible movie with the material we have, thinking about the series holistically. So it's kind of an interesting interplay there.
Yeah, I think all of that's at play in my mind. How much it's connected. I mean, at the end of the day, you just want to make as good a movie as possible.
With as many people from the other movies as possible, in my mind. That's particular to me.
But that's not to say, just because Halloween 3, in 2 of our opinions, kind of shat the bed in what it wanted to do.
No, that was Tom
doesn't
Atkins
mean that
who
it
shut
shouldn't
the
have.
bed.
Yet another strike against him. We forgot that scene.
That was why they did the sex scene on the first day, because they knew Tom Atkins always shits the bed in a sex scene. Okay,
He always shits the bed.
We got to do it on the first day so we can get the dry cleaners in. We want to reuse this hotel set like 5
times. But my
times.
overall point was, I hold no ill will against Halloween 3 for attempting to do something completely different, devoid of Michael Myers.
Yeah.
And I'm the opposite of you, Matt. Like, the Halloween series is my all-time favorite horror series, and I love Michael Myers. Oh, I love it. The original Halloween, I just love those. I think they're great. I'm
agnostic on them. I haven't seen them, and it's generally those kinds of movies aren't my cup of tea. It just, I don't know if it just passed me by because of the age I was at. Like, I enjoyed the Nightmare on Elm Street movies very much, but for whatever reason, the Halloweens and the Friday the 13th movies sort of they just never played in my house, or I never went to see them for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I should have, by all accounts, and I feel like it's like I had, I feel like that window for me to like become a Halloween fan is kind of over. It's like I'm no spring chicken. It's like, yes, I never played in Little League, and I probably never will. to do it now would be inappropriate. So I'll just let that go.
I disagree. Don't play. I mean,
that's it. Maybe that's the
Little League.
movie to pitch. That's the movie to pitch.
Are we talking about Little League or Little Breather League?
Oh
Is there
God!
going to be lots of Hervé Villechaises just kind of running around?
Oh my God!
I think you do well in that environment.
All right. I mean, let's get to it. First of all, let me just say right off the bat, and I am not apologizing for this, I have a sequel for each one of these movies.
Not to brag, but so do I. But there's only one I'm going to pitch. But
disappointing.
These were very, with the exception of Piranha. I actually didn't take a swing at Piranha, but the other ones, I thought of like, oh yeah, you could do that, And
I'll go one better. I'll say there's only one sequel I even considered pitching a sequel to.
And I'm willing to put money right now that I think we're all going to pitch
Shit, I've
the
got
same
to write
movie.
a pitch really quickly.
I think we're all going to pitch the same movie. That's what I think is going to happen. I think we're all going to pitch the same movie. Meaning,
well, I know that there is demand for the movie that I'm pitching that exists in the real world outside of this podcast.
Which is?
You want me to tell you now?
Who starts? How do you do this? What happens?
Tom tells us his fucking pitch right now.
We don't know. We've never figured that out. Somewhere, we get about 15 minutes in and we suddenly start pitching.
Tom makes a bold
as much
statement
as I can tell you about
he's
format.
pitching a sequel to something he knows that Hollywood already wants, and then I say, you fucking tell me right now what it is.
Well, when I was reading both Taking Shape and Taking Shape 2, the director of Halloween 25 Years of Terror said that one of the FAQs he hears at conventions is, are they going to make a sequel to Halloween 3? So that's what I'm doing.
Do it.
Because there's demand for it.
Let's hear it.
Oh, no, I don't want to go first. I just kind of screwed myself there.
I'm happy to throw out my Halloween 3 very quickly for you.
Oh, because that's not your official pitch?
No.
Okay.
Are we all doing the same movie? Let's answer that. To surprise you, Tom, I am pitching Halloween 3. I am pitching a sequel to Season of the Witch. Then I propose this. Let's start with Mike's other pitches, and then then we can all do our Halloweens, right?
All right.
So there's parody.
My Halloween 3 sequel is
do your other ones first.
The other ones first?
Well, you're doing like thumbnails.
Are you saying I should save Halloween 3 for last?
I think so, since we're all doing the same one.
All right.
Well, I don't know.
What's your main one? What's the one you're gonna go with?
If I was gonna do a main one, it's really tough. As far as I'm concerned, these are the definitive sequels for all these movies.
Okay, go.
All right, I'll start with Piranha 3, Tremors Edition, in space.
Oh, okay. You're done.
We have had.
You're done. You're done. You got the yes.
Got it. I know everything I need to know about that movie.
Once you get the answer, the meeting's over.
That's all you needed?
You got the yes. That's right up there with Jurassic Shark. That's just like you got it.
So I should save Halloween 3. All right. My airplane sequel is Airplane 3, Space Force, in the year of 2050. In this movie, Robert Hayes has been the leader of Space Force. Sadly, Donald Trump was reelected in 2024 and has now become, as Tom knows, Planet President Trump. Now there is a new experimental ship that is going to get us to Mars, as Trump has demanded. Elaine Dickinson has been upgraded to co-pilot.
Yeah.
As played by Julie Haggerty. Unfortunately, Ted Stryker has been arrested for an accident during tests that he did not commit, and he is imprisoned by the government who wants to keep this fucked up ship hush hush. Now, what Ted Stryker knows is if they take this new experimental spaceship to Mars, which is, by the way, nuclear powered,
Yeah.
it's going to crash land and split that planet in half. And it will end up destroying Earth.
Mm.
But what we really want to know is who's on the fucking spaceship.
Yeah.
So, it will be piloted. I have not decided, actually. I can't decide between the pilot being either Bill Murray or Denzel Washington.
Like from Flight, Denzel Washington?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Like that character.
Which is why there's just so much great comedy to be mined.
There you go.
If you put him there.
Why choose between those two? There's such a thing as a co-pilot, Mike.
Well, I have co-pilot as Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Oh, a throwback to
Throwback to Kareem.
To Kareem in the first one.
None.
Side question: are any of over underdone sports heroes?
Say that again.
The characters of Over, Under, and Done from Airplane 2, are any of them sports people? No?
No.
Another reason why that movie sucks. Go on.
Yeah. They couldn't even do a layup.
Right.
Nope. They'll have a nun played by Meryl Streep.
Oh,
Doctor played by Liam Neeson.
He's very good at comedy.
Yeah. The Lloyd Bridges character, played by Pacino. The Robert
not
Stack
by Jeff
character.
Bridges.
No.
I'm gonna interrupt you there. We can get Jeff Bridges. So
and Bo Bridges, and they're the same
Oh
character.
my god!
And they just
might be
alternate
right.
from like scene to scene. It's one.
See,
it's
I
the same character.
I had Lloyd being played by Pacino and Robert Stack by De Niro, but Jeff Bridges and Bo Bridges might be a stroke of genius.
This is what I'm talking about. It's a volley. It's a back and forth. It's a yes and.
And then the stewardess played by Issa Rae.
Because
she's hysterical.
So you are pitching this movie as like this movie will exist by the just sheer star power. You are Ocean's 11ing this movie.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Got it.
All right, I've got Grease 3, high school reunion. It is the 50-year reunion of the 1962 class, takes place in 2012. Danny and Sandy teach at the high school.
Everybody's in their 70s.
Danny's the dance teacher. Yeah. Sandy.
played by Tom Atkins.
Sandy teaches English. Stephanie and Michael are coming back for their reunion.
Yeah.
They are divorced. But they each set, so Danny and Sandy have a child, girl. Stephanie and Michael have a child, boy. You know where this is going.
So their children, let me get this straight.
Yeah.
So they're in their 70s, so the children are in their late 40s, early 50s.
Right.
Okay.
Now, Danny and Sandy, once they realize that this high school reunion dance is going to have a dance battle on YouTube, call in the old gang.
Look at you, Cobra Kaiing this shit.
Yeah, exactly. So, at any rate, you're going to have the huge dance battle, and the two couples are going to be battling against each other while their kids are falling in love. You'll have like an A story, a B story, a C story.
And so, again, just to get this straight, no one in this film is younger than 49 years old.
That's right.
And it's a Grease movie. Okay.
Yep.
I'm painting a picture.
It's going to play well in retirement homes, I think. definitely
dare
for the
you,
matinee
I say,
audience.
point out the glaring holes in my pitch.
I'm just trying to see what you see here.
I think you can afford like a crossover with the what's it called, the Royal Marigold Hotel, or what's that movie
I was
about?
just gonna say that I have a starred note here that I could call it Grease 3 High School Reunion, a nostalgia extravaganza.
I think you need to Godfather Part 2 it, and we see some younger actors playing them when they were younger. And then I think it would work.
Interesting.
Well, they did that, and those were the original movies.
We don't talk about those. We don't talk business. We don't talk original movie business at the table.
Okay, I would just say
it seems to me that what Tom's saying is you show them in grade school.
Oh,
Like Muppet Babies.
I think, okay, this is the point at the pitch where you'll suddenly feel like the subject change, and suddenly you somebody will be like checking their schedule in front of you, and
Yeah. The GoldenEye couch will like flip you inside it.
yeah.
All right, somebody else take over your pitch for Halloween 3.
Well, can I? Because I have thumbnail pitches for a few of these other movies.
Yeah, let's just do that. I can think of one.
I was trying to. I only arrived at like fully fleshing out a Halloween pitch after the other ones failed me. I did not. I didn't think I was going to go Halloween on this one, because when I sat down with Grease 3, the idea of Grease 3. I think my mind was just sort of already poisoned with the idea that there was already supposed to be a Grease 3, and it was supposed to be about like 60s counterculture, and sort of the hippies instead of the greasers, as the new and kind of scary thing. And then I realized that as I was pitching that up, I was really just making hair, and so I just didn't want to go there. And then currently they're working on, or they've announced they're working on a prequel to Grease, and so that sort of killed both ends. And then I looked at Airplane 3, and my first idea, which I loved, was like, you do a prequel, and it's called Macho Grande, and it's set in World War II, and it's Ted Stryker as the pilot.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
It's set the world. It's about the World War II bomber crew, life on the base, and the fun and hijinks they have doing R&R in Rome. And then I realized I was pitching Catch-22, and so I was like, oh shit, swing and a miss. And so, and
hot
then
shots a little bit too,
and hot shots, yeah. But I think of all of the
great idea though.
Of all of the things about Airplane in terms of like what was left unmined, and what were in those movies, like in the sequel, my favorite part was the courtroom drama, and so to take it out of the realm of airplane disaster movie. And use the name of the franchise to sort of send up war movies. Would be a good idea.
I mean, we have a time machine. We have a unlimited time machine here.
Right.
But what I really want to see in that sequel is, because am I right in thinking that Shatner was
he flew with Stryker, yeah.
But I want to see William Shatner now playing that character in the 1940s. With no reference to the fact that he's like in his late 70s or whatever he is now.
Yeah,
so that's
exactly.
So you
request.
wouldn't go Chris Pine?
Oh, that would be a good.
No, I think you. Yeah. I think if you really were to make this movie today, like no time machine, and you really somebody really were to try to breathe new life into the Airplane sequel. Yeah, I think the way to do it is to sort of pitch like young cast, because we can't send up, like we were talking about, we can't send up airplane disaster movies anymore because nobody knows what those are anymore. There's no common frame of reference that we all have, and so I think it would be really hard to make a spoof movie. But I think just in the universe of Airplane, the one thing that to me seems to be calling out is like to actually go and find out what the fuck did happen over Macho Grande, and it's a great title. So
yes, really great title.
Airplane 3 Macho Grande. So those are my thumbnails. I'll save my my longer Halloween pitch, and we can head to head all the Halloween pitches.
Okay, Mike, go.
Sorry, you cut out. What was that?
So, you want to go? You want to go ahead with your pitch, Mike, or do you want me to do my Halloween first?
Mine's actually pretty quick.
Go for it.
I had two ideas.
Doesn't sound quick. Come on.
It sounds decisive though, so let's hear them both.
Yes. My first idea, which was mostly based just on the title, is called Halloween 3 Part 2 The Beginning.
Halloween Part 3.
And it's the story of Harry Grimbridge.
Who was Harry Grimbridge?
He's the first guy you see running away from the fucking town.
He's the dad?
No,
he's Ellie's dad?
He's the dad.
Abort!
He's the dad.
There's a reason why Harry Grimbridge dies within seconds of the movie starting.
He's gonna Rogue One Halloween 3?
He's just a guy who works in a toy shop.
You're gonna go like 2011 The Thing, and it sounds like it's a remake, but no, it's a fucking prequel.
To quote your other podcast co-host, Lady Chew, you know I haven't seen that.
That is a fucking great idea. I love it. My other idea was... My other
By
idea,
the way, that was the whole pitch?
that's the whole pitch.
We're just gonna do a movie about the guy who dies?
You're gonna say the story of Harry Grimbridge, and at least one of the two people you're pitching to does not know who Harry Grimbridge is.
And one of those two people played Harry Grimbridge.
Oh yeah, that was my name, see?
It's a fucking winner. No, my other idea was to pick up at the end of the events of the second film, and based on the idea that, what's her name?
Ellie?
That Ellie was not a robot the whole time and is still strapped to a gurney somewhere, and now she's going to be saved by her best friend, who is going to be helped by a de-aged, well, not helped, but Tom Atkins, de-aged, like the Irishman style, is going to say, hey, maybe I should help you with, this is the cold open. Hey, maybe I'm going to help you with that. Hand on the ass. She punches him in the throat. I'll do it myself. Walks out the door, and then she has to go save Ellie.
From the gurney.
From the gurney, but also...
And then Tom Atkins just goes to prison for all the things he did in the last movie.
For all the things he did.
Yep.
But as Stonehenge also took away Connell Cochran's life, they reconstituted him as well.
Reanimated.
So he's back in business.
Great.
You're jumping on my pitch here, Mike.
Uh-oh.
You asked me to go first, dumbass.
I know. I wish I hadn't now.
Why don't you go next?
Is that it?
That's it.
Phew. You was so close. Okay, so my movie is called Halloween 3, Season of the Witch 2. And to put it as simply as I can, this is Halloween 3's Halloween 2.
Gotcha.
So, like Halloween 2 picks up where Halloween leaves off, begins seconds after Halloween ends, so does this movie. It picks up at the end of the seconds after the end of Halloween 3, with Tom Atkins as Dr. Daniel Chalice on the phone in the gas station, urging a major network to cease broadcasting. Luckily, they do. So that cliffhanger is instantly resolved. Phew. We have a complete, relief. My children aren't dead. And, so he's immediately relieved, crisis over. The gas station attendant is like, oh, yeah, it's time for my program. Switches to a whole nother station. The same station that he was watching that British news report on. And he turns that station. There's the digital pumpkin, the silver shamrock pumpkin, and the ad. And they say, and the voiceover on the TV says, "Don't forget to tune in to the big giveaway at 10 p.m." And immediately Daniel is like, "What is this network? I don't know about this station." And he's like, "Oh, it's the Silver Shamrock Network. It's mostly just like footage of, an Irish river, like 23 hours a day. But I find it relaxing." And he's like, "Shut up, guy! I don't care about. We've got. It's like, where is the station? Like, where is it located?" He's like, "Oh, it's a local station. It's here in Santa Mira." It's like, "Do you know where the station is?" And he's like, "Yeah, no, I once, went over there to, I don't know." I know where the station is. We'll figure that out later.
I don't know.
We're still in the first scene.
Oh, God.
So it's and then, obviously we get the October 31st, right? So
you're carrying on the tradition of constantly telling us where and when we are.
Oh, you don't know how you said a mouthful. So Dr. Daniel Chalice says to the gas station attendant, "You got to drive me to this station. I got to shut down this. We've only got an hour. I'm unclear as to how far away Santa Mira is. So we better leave now." From this gas station. They get to the station.
He's going with the gas station attendant?
Yeah, well, he doesn't have a car. And the gas station attendant. So this is the gas
station attendant who visited him in the hospital. They met in the first. Okay.
Yeah. So now them knowing each other makes a difference. Finally, they get to the station, and
gap filled.
When they arrive at the station, they find Ellie. But there's a classic sequel inversion here, because Ellie is in front of the camera, strapped down, the real Ellie, not the robot Ellie, with a mask on her face. Okay, so that's different, because normally it's the kids watching the TV who have the masks on, and they're watching the digital pumpkin, but this is reverse. People will be watching a person with a pumpkin mask on who's strapped down. So we ignore what this is all about at this point. He rescues Ellie. It's like, "Oh, you're alive. That's great. But she's injured. She's had bad stuff done to her by Daniel as well as Cochran." So he takes Ellie to the hospital back, the nearest hospital, which is Daniel's hospital.
Physical problems or psychological?
Yes. We know that Daniel's hospital is the nearest hospital, however far away that is, so she goes there. Okay. November 1st. The police are investigating Santa Mira, what happened. They're in the factory. They collect the stone ashes of Connell Cochran. They take it into evidence, but they put it in the same evidence locker as the Silver Shamrock microchip. As with Mike's pitch, Cochran is reanimated. The microchip and the stone together reanimate him but now he's a stone man. He's made entirely of stone, which he may have been all along. We don't know. It's like the robots. We don't really know the details here. And he is, and he uses his stone power to escape from the evidence locker. And now Cochran is alive and free. November 7th. So we do the same time jump that we do in Halloween 3. Daniel is in court losing custody of his kids.
Yes.
It was very, like, it was a quick turnaround once everyone found out, like, what he was doing. So he's lost
what he
custody.
was actually doing.
Yeah, he lost custody of his kids, and at the same time, Connell Cochran is now stalking his family as a stone person. Daniel bumps into one of the cops who's investigating the Santa Mira crimes in the courthouse, and he says, "Oh, how's the investigation going? What did you find out?" And the cop, replies, "It's like, well, all our evidence went missing, so the case is pretty much done." And Daniel's like, "Look, how could you let that happen?" November 8th. Daniel kind of realizes after several drinks at his local bar that Cochran might be after his family out of revenge. So he tries to, he turns up drunk at his own, at his house where his wife and children live. But of course, he's not allowed to see his kids. And he's drunk. They're not going to let him in. So he doesn't get to, they're like, go away, we don't want to see you. And of course, as soon as he's, and the police take him away because his wife calls the cops. But as soon as he's gone, Stoneman Cochran kidnaps Daniel's children. And then we go to November 9th. Back at the TV station, he puts the kids in the same situation that Ellie was in. And now Cochran, phase 2 of Cochran's plan is he can do sacrifice the other way by making other people watch people die from the silver shamrock chip on air. And that has the same effect of this weird druid ritual. Daniel figures out that, that's what they were doing. He's probably going to do it to make kids. They drive or run to Santa Mira, depending
across the street.
Yeah, depending on which way we fall. He saves them. He calls. Ellie has become involved in this point. She's not abandoned him like everyone else. So he and Ellie go there to rescue the kids. They rescue the kids, but a druid laser takes out Ellie, so she does actually die there and then.
Real
that's
Ellie.
The end of the movie. It ends on a real downer. Oof. It just takes a whole movie.
You know what I do like though that we didn't talk about in the episode? I assume you'll be having the strange title cards.
Yeah.
Can we have a second one that says 1 hour later?
Yeah.
Like Halloween 3 had?
Yeah, for sure. Oh no! All time, hours,
1
minutes,
hour later,
nanoseconds will be accounted for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Halloween 3 Season of Witch 2. It's
the
Halloween
passage of
2
time will be
for the
airtight.
Halloween 3 generation.
I love it.
I
love it.
Nice.
I guess that answers all the questions.
It really does.
And raises many new ones. Oh, yeah. I forgot to say, all Cochran's henchmen are made of stone now.
I like stone henchmen. It's more on point than robots.
It's more Stonehenge-y.
It's more Stonehenge-y. And I like that you're continuing the social critique to that the first one has about, sort of television rotting our brains, and you're sort of putting it in this world of reality television, and where we're going to watch actual torture and death, and that is going to have some kind of that'll be some sort of like ritualistic purification. I think
it makes as much sense as doing it the other way.
Absolutely,
is my feeling.
Sure,
absolutely. I went a slightly different way with Halloween. I definitely I lose the word Halloween from it, and I just make Season of the Witch Part 2, because I think you were kind of making this point, Tom, is that if they had only not called this Halloween, things might have turned out a lot different for Season of the Witch. If there was just a movie called Season of the Witch. And so I just decided to treat it like there was a movie called Season of the Witch. We're going to do Season of the Witch 2. And so my story starts 1 year after the events of Season of the Witch 1. We're approaching the next Halloween. And this is 1 year since the nation's children were murdered en masse by these masks. We are living
fucking
in
ABC.
Yeah, the Shamrock masks worked.
We all know it was ABC who let
Get
the
to
kids
fucking
die.
moms and dads.
We all know it was ABC who let
So
the kids
we are
die.
we are 1 year after 1 year after this mass death at the hands of these masks, and you know, the fire that engulfed the factory, the Silver Shamrock factory in Santa Mira, is you know, is just in ruins and ashes. And this factory town, as it was described, you know, without its main factory, is dying on the vine. And that's the town we find, and that's the town where our movie is going to take place. Now the Tom Atkins character, Dr. Daniel, his own children having died, and his estrangement from his ex-wife, and he's obviously been fired for the hospital, fired from his job for practicing medicine while under the influence.
You don't need to give a reason.
Yeah. He resides permanently in Santa Mira, where he lives at the Rose of Shannon Motel. And he is now the town drunk.
Purgatory.
I was going to say the town drunk.
He's the town drunk
Crazy
now.
Ralph.
He's Crazy Ralph, and he will tell anyone who will listen to him that the power behind the Silver Shamrock microchip massacre was the lost stone of Stonehenge. And this is the stone that we saw destroyed at the end of the movie. And he has this grand tale about what was really going on there, and that it was all about a stone of Stonehenge. And because he's the town drunk, nobody listens to him. It is absolutely not believed, and he's just the rantings of a lunatic. So we start our film a week before Halloween, and we follow a group of high school kids, kind of going back to the tradition of the horror movies. We follow a group of high school kids from Santa Mira, and these are kids who were spared. They did not wear the masks. They were one of the only kids. They're the only kids left in Santa Mira, because everybody else, all the other kids, wore a mask and were killed the following Halloween. And so there's a group of disaffected high school kids who feel like, you know, survivor's guilt. And so they, you know, one night, you know, a couple of beers and shits and giggles, they go exploring the ruins of the factory. And there in the basement, they discover very strange pieces of rock. And they realize one of the kids puts it together that these must be the pieces of Stonehenge that crazy Dr. Atkins was always talking about.
Crazy Dr. Atkins.
Yeah. So what they do, what these you know, disaffected, angry kids do, is they steal the rocks with the intent to sell them for profit. They're going to sell pieces of Stonehenge for like beer money and maybe college tuition, or maybe like a new car.
Like those guys used to sell pieces of the original cross.
Yeah, or pieces of the Berlin Wall or something like that. They're going to peddle they're going to peddle these rocks as pieces of Stonehenge. What they don't realize is that a coven of witches has also traveled to Santa Mira to retrieve the pieces of Stonehenge. And these are the witches that were supposed to be in Season of the Witch 1, but they couldn't afford or something. I'm not sure. But we only had Evil Willy Wonka. Now it's
Did they imbue the Stonehenge with the power?
I don't.
Yeah,
they are the druid witches. They are the druid witches.
Mention that there are no witches in Season of the Witch, just as in Troll 2 there are no trolls.
Exactly, and so we're bringing witches into this franchise at long last. They were sort of off screen in the original, but now because of the disaster and because of the big fire and sort of the mass execution of all the children, they are coming back to retrieve the lost pieces of Stonehenge, only to discover that when they get to the fire, those pieces of Stonehenge are gone, and now they have to, this coven of witches has to systematically hunt down each one of these children, and not only get the rock back, a piece of Stonehenge back, but to murder them as well, because they were the survivors that should have died the year before, and that will sort of renew whatever fucking spirit of whatever Halloween that didn't get renewed in Season of the Witch 1, they're trying to renew it. So they just go around trying to reclaim these sacred artifacts. So the movie is basically that. It was, will these kids escape the Santa Mira and the witches with their lives? And more to the point, will the town drunk, Dr. Atkins, finally have a chance of redeeming himself by saving children from a murderous coven of witches? That's my pitch.
Damn.
And that's why you do it as a living, and I do it as a segment on a podcast.
I wanted to make it about witches, goddammit.
And that you did.
I didn't even clock that there's no witches in Season of the Witch.
Like I said, they're off screen. He talks about them. He talks about, like...
Yeah, he does.
They're being.
Oh yeah, he does.
In his big speech.
A long time,
in his big speech, yeah, it makes it seem like he is part of a larger network of witches, and that he's kind of trying to.
His James Bond villain. I'm going to tell you the whole plan speech.
Yeah, he's trying to sort of resurrect something, some ritual aspect of Halloween, and he needs a rock from Stonehenge to do it.
And we didn't talk too much.
It's that old saw.
We didn't talk too much in the episode about, trying, there is continuity. There's non-serial continuity in Halloween 3 with the other Halloween movies, but also retrospectively, the Halloween series picked up a lot from Halloween 3 and running with witchcraft, and particularly this, the Festival of Samhain becomes the basis of Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. And there is a figure in, I think, Halloween 5 and 6 called the Man in Black, who is like a non-witchy
Tom
version.
Atkins' twin.
Yeah, he's like a non-witchy version of what Matt, what you just pitched. So it's interesting.
There you go.
Because like that was like the one element, just as you picked up on the thing that the rest of the Halloweens ran with. They did too.
Oh, that's funny. Because again, I don't know those other movies, and so I don't know the.
It became very witchy for a while. The
yeah.
Halloween series, and then a lot of that was to do with Halloween 3, and that they liked that element but felt it was underexplored.
Yeah.
It's even reintroduced in Halloween 4. They talk about Samhain.
It actually goes weirdly, and this is just trivia, but it first appears in the Halloween novelization. Like they use it as a because Halloween as a movie is so lean, you have to put things in to kind of make it novel length. And one of those was kind of suggesting that there was a witchcraft behind Michael Myers. So. Yeah, that's it's interesting that thread gets picked up.
All right, well, there's a lot to chew on, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know how we're gonna poll that, but okay.
Yeah, exactly. We'll try to figure out a way to put a poll in the field, and you decide. Maybe we'll just do the Halloweens. You decide what you like, ladies and gentlemen. Find us on Facebook. Find us on Instagram or Twitter. Send us an email to everythingsequel@gmail.com if you've got questions. Otherwise, find our poll and vote on which sequel you like the best. All right. For Tom Stewart of Lonesome Whistle Productions, and I can't thank enough, our special guest host, Matthew Aldrich. Thank you for dropping by.
Cochrane golf clap for you, sir.
Total pleasure. Thank you, guys.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
My name is Michael Shantz of the How Dare You Awards. You should know, dear listeners, Matt and I are going to embark on a new project, literally, called the 1982 Project. We're not done with this year. We've got more to say. So, by the time we listen to this, it's probably already going to be on air. So find it wherever you find your podcasts.
Absolutely. We're gonna unpack this year because these 4 movies are the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, well, there's so much underneath the surface.
Yeah.
All right. Take care, everyone. Until next time.
One more day to Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. One more day to Halloween. All together. Silver Shamrock.
I can't. just can't.
A refusal. It's not the act of a friend.
In front of your TV sets for the horathon. And remember the big giveaway at 9. Don't miss it. And don't forget to wear your masks. The clock is ticking. It's almost time.
If you like podcasts like I do, boy, do I have a treat for you. You need to
Stay on target.
and check out the Sounds in Cinema podcast. Listen as your host, sound designer and music creator Tony Parham, and co-host, musical performer and sound lover Derek Hansen, D-Rock if you're nasty, and I am, discuss all things sound related to film, television, stage, and theatrical productions. They discuss environmental sounds, bioacoustics, dialogue, the nature of communication through sound, but as an added bonus, they drink beer and try to
Stay on target.
find them wherever you get your podcasts and listen to the pure mania of a man who can charitably be described as Doug, the dog from Up, and another man with a soothing and sultry voice trying to get that man to
Stay on target.
That's the Sounds in Cinema podcast. Tune in and listen to the sounds they are creating just for you.